Hello there, welcome to the car. I've just noticed that since I've shaved my beard off, can you see all that? That's really made me self-conscious, that has. Just there. Really made me self-conscious, but not to worry, it's my own fault. I'll grow a beard back and hide it. Anyway, stupid o'clock in the morning. I got up quite early today, spent about 20 minutes with the chickens, and then spent equal amount of time with the pony. It's lovely not to have to watch the clock, really. You know, we spend most of our lives looking at the time of things, and it was nice today not to have to. However, as you may or may not know, I work, and I think I probably work quite hard, but because I've done the job for a long time, it does allow me time for my mind to wander during the day. And usually my first thoughts are in the car on the way in. And today's thought was taken up with eggs. Because if I keep turning away, I know, but that's probably not what... I bet Holly Willoughby doesn't do that, does she? But then I'm not quite Holly Willoughby. Am I? Anyway, today I've bought in some eggs. There's an egg. And there's a different shaped egg. Okay? These are from my bantams. So they're quite a good size actually for a bantam egg. But they're different shapes, which is fine. I don't suppose it matters. They are absolutely bloody delicious. And what they are, they're smaller than normal size eggs, because my girls are smaller than normal size chickens. And the beauty of bantam eggs is that they've still got the same size yolk as a normal egg, but the bit that they're missing is loads of white. So beautiful yellow colour, really bright yellow, really strong tasting. And I bought some in for a colleague of mine, because she's sort of helped me out recently, so I've got a few spare eggs, so I thought I'd bring some in for her. And two things really as an aside. What I heard from someone who used to own a battery farm, a gentleman that speaks to me quite often, and he says that what happens is people who bring the feed in, they come in with a colour chart. So you get to choose what colour you want the eggs to be. So they come in almost like a Dulux thing, and you say, right, okay, well, I want really bright yellow, or I want pale yellow, and the feed has got a colouring in that makes them a certain colour. Obviously, battery farms are shit, and, you know, the yellowness of an egg should be, because that's what natural eggs look like. But it got me thinking. It really got me thinking, which is a dangerous thing sometimes, because, you know, I just tend to really wander. Got me thinking, how did they come here? Obviously, my girls, who are called Whitey, Lacey and Litland, they group together. They're called the Tanyas. Obviously, they laid the eggs. But it really is a question of, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg, isn't it? Because obviously an egg has to have a chicken to lay it, but then the chicken that laid the first egg would have had to have been created somehow, wouldn't it? So that's really scary, isn't it? Because it can't be, can it? Because if chickens come from eggs and eggs come from chickens, how can it happen? But then that got me thinking as well. Obviously, for an egg to be fertilised, it needs a male chicken, and that male chicken needs an egg as well to come from. It doesn't. The process stops with the male, doesn't it? Obviously, it doesn't lay eggs, so it just sort of helps out, doesn't it? But then I thought to myself, well, actually, how does that work with anything that comes from anything. Like trees. Trees rely on a seed or a acorn or whatever to become. But for an acorn or a seed to become, there needs to be a tree. So then that makes you think, well, how did anyone exist? Now, I know I'm just a fat bloke working in an office, and that question has been asked since the beginning of time, whenever the beginning of time is, but bringing it to a local level like that, it's probably done my head in a bit. Because obviously, if everything needed something else to become here, well then, where did it all come from? There wasn't just like a shower of, like, equivalent of rain, a storm of everything, surely, that just landed. But where did it come from? I wonder, I suppose scientifically, maybe it started with atmosphere. So little particles in the air mixed with little particles of moisture created something. You know, when you look at something in a telescope, or not a telescope, a microscope, and it's like those little bloody worms and things. Maybe it all started with them. Maybe as we're looking round now through the windscreen of my car, there's obviously little particles of live stuff floating around with other live stuff. But then that poses a question, where did they come from? So it's one of them never-ending stories, questions, things like that, which part of me, the part of me that just wants to be like everyone else, not saying that I'm different to anyone else, obviously, but the part of me that wants to not have these thoughts thinks, oh shit, I shouldn't have thought like that. If only I hadn't brought some eggs in for a friend today, then this wouldn't have happened. But another part of me thinks, shit, that's heavy. And I know I'll never come up with an answer, but I might come up with a better answer than, I don't know. So there you go. Anyway, that's me. That's my thought. That'll probably occupy me for at least another 30 seconds. Have a lovely day. It looks like it's going to rain, but then it looks bright as well. But we won't think about that as well. So have a lovely day. See you soon.